what do you call them, counselors. I've been on meds. I've had group therapy. I've had like the works, and you know what? It's all a crock. It is all. None of it did jack for me. And I can also say this: I have a psych degree, and I was actually accepted at Pepperdine University for grad school. I was actually enrolled in classes, and I bailed out. I was going to get an MFCC and be one of these shrinks myself, but you know what? I'm glad I didn't do it because I think the whole thing is garbage. And I know there's a lot of shrinks watching this, and that's just too bad. Deal with it. Because they think like they have the answers for everything, but you know what? They don't. They have the answers for nothing. The only thing that they're really good about is getting you addicted to coming to them so that they can draw more money out of you. That's what they're good at.
Did you ever get to nail any of your mental health professionals?
Did I ever? What do you mean?
Well, this could be just me, but I always thought the hottest thing would be to sleep with your therapist.
No, I never did that.
You're a very moral man, Rabbi.
Actually, most of the ones I had were men.
Uh-huh. And you're not oriented that way.
Well, no, but the whole concept. It's pretty funny. I like that.
What? Tell me more about the experience. Why did you keep doing it for years then, if you thought it was crap?
Why did I keep going?
Yeah.
To
therapy.
To therapy? Why did I keep going to therapy?
Yeah, if you thought it was crap, or did you not think it was crap?
I think I was addicted. Just like I just described. They're really good at addicting people. I think I got addicted to going. You know, and there was the belief and the hope that this would somehow change me, and that somehow I'd be able to like stand up to people, and because that's like my biggest thing. Is I always say, one of the things I always daven for, and then one of my hachlatas every year, like Rosh Hashanah time, is this year is going to be different. This year I'm going to be able to. I'm going to stand up to people who pick on me, and stand up to people who give me problems. You know what? I never do, and I suck at that. And it's just something that, that's just how I am. Because I grew up in a house with that kind of a situation, and there's no overcoming it. To this day, I can't stand up to somebody like my dad. Anybody who has a prototype personality of my father, I cannot stand up to them. And I just let them walk all over me, and I hate it. And it gets me very angry. But there's nothing I can do about it. And, you can sit on the couch or lay on the couch for a decade. It's not going to help. If you have that and you grow up with that, and that's driven into your soul, into your being, that's what you are. You're stamped. See, this is my problem with therapy, and a lot of people think, oh, I can give them advice, and oh, I can change a person or whatever. Look, a person, God forbid, is born without vision. Let's say they're blind. They don't have vision. Nothing is going to give them vision. Okay, that's it. They don't have eyes. They don't have sight for the rest of their lives. And sitting in a couch, paying whatever it is, $100 an hour, is a fraud, because it's not going to bring back your vision. Nothing's going to do it. So it's the same thing. If a person grew up and is terribly abused, and they have issues with that, nothing is going to solve that. You can try to make them feel better, you can put a Band-Aid on it, you can give them sedatives, and you can give them antidepressants, and I've been through all that, and you know what? It doesn't cure anything. Of course, this is my opinion, and everybody's welcome to disagree, And here's the one I love. People say, oh, you know what? Why don't you go to therapy? And, because I don't want kids, because I'm not going to do to them. I would be a terrible parent, just like my parents. We'll get into that if you want, but I don't want kids. And people say, "Oh, you know what? Why don't you go through therapy, and they'll make you want kids?" Let me tell you something. Therapy is not going to make you want kids. You're either born with the paternal gene or you're not. And if you don't have that gene, if you don't have paternal instincts, no way are you going to be artificially be able to manufacture that after the fact. And this is like probably my biggest issue that I stand on. So I have no problem talking about it, and I'm glad I have this opportunity, is I'm really, really strongly against child abuse. That is my big ticket item. What does Rabbs stand for today? Well, I like making people laugh and stuff, and whatever. But my biggest thing is I see myself as a leader in standing up against child abuse. And why I say a leader, because nobody in the frum community has taken a position on it. The concept of standing up against child abuse, against the cycle of abuse in the frum community, does not exist outside of Rabbi Rabbs. Nobody takes it seriously to the point that the average frummie walking on the street doesn't even know that the cycle of abuse exists. They don't even know what a cycle of abuse is. They don't know the difference between an abuse cycle and a motorcycle. I've talked to frummies, so many of them, that have never even contemplated the concept of an abuse cycle. And they think that, like, oh, if you're abused, so just get therapy, get over it, and you'll be a great parent. There's so many people that even to this day say, oh, you'll be a great father, you're great. The difference between me and other people who are in the frum community who were likewise abused is at least I admit it. And I have the honesty and the guts to come out and say, yeah, I was abused. And you know what? I'm making the right decision. And I am not going to continue the cycle of abuse. And I will not have kids. And the difference is that the average frummie, the average frum Jew who was abused growing up cannot be honest with themselves to that level. And they will continue to have kids. And I mean every single one of them. Every single frummie that was abused will continue to have kids. Now here's what's scary. Statistics say that 30% of all people who were abused will continue to abuse. 30%. Okay, that means 70% won't. So 70% won't. Granted, if you get 10 frummies in the room and they were all grew up abused, right? 7 of them, go ahead. Reproduce. Go ahead. Maybe you'll be a good parent. But 3 of you won't. Here's my attitude, and I tend to be an extremist. My attitude is, because there's 3 that are going to do this, there's 3 criminals, 3 people who should never have kids, are going to continue this, and they're going to teach child abuse to their own children, then all 10 of them should be stopped. Because until those 3 are going to step forward and take responsibility for themselves, then none of you can go out for recess after class is dismissed. That's right, we're going to treat you like little kids. Because how can we allow that to continue? That 3 people are going to spit out 10 abused kids each. And that's in the next generation is going to be 30 abused kids. All of them who learned bad parenting from their kids, from their parents, and are going to do the same thing with their own kids. And I have a huge problem with that. And I have run up against that like a brick wall in the frum community because nobody supports me on that. The ideas that I'm talking about are so foreign to the frum community that I can't get 2 frummies to support me on this. When it's amazing to me how many centuries behind in thinking the average frummie is compared to me. It's going to take hundreds of years before what I'm saying right now on this tape is going to be accepted as mainstream accepted thought in the frum world. And you know what? It should be accepted right now. And here's why. There are some frummies who have no problem with me. And you know who they're called? They're called the Gedolim. That's right. Because big rabbis have no problem with what I'm saying. And if I put them in the room, they would say they have no problem with me. And how do I know this? How do I know this?
How do you know this?
Thank you for asking me that. Because I spoke this over with one of the Gedoli Ador. Okay, that's one of the major league Rav who's around today. I would say he's one of the absolute experts on Hilchos Noshim. He knows the laws of women probably better than anybody else. And he not only poskin that I don't have to have kids, he actually poskin that I probably should not have kids and that it could be usher for me to have them. Because I feel that I would be abusive to them. Because all I know about parenting is what I grew up with, which was bad parenting. So how am I going to learn good parenting when I've not been exposed to it? Right? And I could watch 1,000 people be good parents. It's not going to rub up on me. How's that going to, by osmosis, turn me into a good parent? How is laying on a couch going to make me a good parent? The way you learn parenting is it's instilled in your soul from the time you're a little kid and your parents teach it to you. That's the only way you're going to learn it. That's the only way. I don't have that. Therefore, I should not be a parent.